what are you doing with that?
It's not the blues box today, it's the box of doom.
Welcome back to the Blues Box. For an inexplicable reason, we do have a pointy headstock in the room. So,
yes.
But before we get on to that, thank you to all our recent subscribers. Really appreciate that. The comments we've been getting and for the likes. So please keep that up. Give us a like, give us a comment. Do subscribe. It means a massive amount to us at the moment to get the channel going. Shall I turn that off while it's just sitting there going?
I would. Yeah, we'll swap amps.
And so yeah, so really appreciate you dropping by. We have quite an unusual instrument in there.
Yes.
I have to say though, it's a
wow,
stunning looking thing. Whilst it's not, you know,
it's not what you expect to see on our blues show.
No. So why is it on the blues show then, Steve?
Well, a very good friend of mine, Greg, who is an exceptional metal guitarist, unlike what I just did, has got this spectacular instrument, which is, as you can probably tell, not cheap.
No. What sort of the make?
It's a Mayonnaise, not mayonnaise, as I mistakenly keep saying.
All right.
It's a Mayonnaise, which is a Polish, made in Poland, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's extremely expensive guitar.
Yeah.
The point, I guess, is it's nice to have an instrument of this quality on the show, as we're going to look at, compare the kind of build quality of this compared to my Strat and Les Paul, which are not cheap guitars, but...
No, there's a lot of comments out there at the moment about Gibson build quality, Fender build quality, and variation in the build quality, I think, is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
You do get some cracking instruments, but...
You do. But also, whenever I've played guitars, I teach a fair bit of metal. It's not what I do.
Yeah.
But whenever I play a guitar that's pretty much made for playing that stuff, I always find it doesn't particularly do blues particularly well. I feel it hasn't quite got the finesse, I suppose.
Is that the sort of just a really high gain output?
Maybe. I mean, the pickups are pretty full on.
Yeah.
But what struck me when I played this for the first time was I went, ooh,
yeah,
it does.
Okay.
So we'll kind of compare it to my Strat and Gibson. There's roughly £2,000 difference. So
what kind of price?
This is about 4,300, 4,400.
Yeah.
Compared to my Gold Top's about roughly £2,000. Strat a little bit less than that. But it has a coil split, so it'll be quite interesting to compare the humbuckers with the Les Paul.
Yeah, they don't always pan out, do they?
Yeah, and it seems like an unfair comparison in a way, because they're obviously designed to do that. But what they definitely won't do is what this does. Yeah. If you stick this in the hands of a good metal guitarist. So
what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take some pictures of this because you've got to see the wood close up.
Wow.
I'm not normally like blown away by woods and things, you know, because they're never that. Well, I wouldn't say never. That's wrong, but they're often not that interesting. But this thing, wow.
I'm trying to be extremely careful with it.
I can tell that the way you're holding it is.
Yes. It was a very slow drive here today in my car. Put it that way.
Behind you blowing the horns.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to just run through sort of what's on it and in terms of woods and specs? Yeah, just
of course,
to get that bit out of it.
I know that.
Yes, you'd know that off your head, wouldn't you?
He says.
You haven't written it down at all. All right. So, I mean, obviously, the first one that really jumps out, apart from the fingerboard, is that top. And how thick that top is, actually.
Yeah, that's the thing you noticed is, I mean, you'll hopefully get some shots where you can see that. I mean, I'm going to read out statistics because I haven't memorised them. But it's a black limber body, which I did do a little reading about, is a West African wood.
So that's this one on the back, look at that. It's just stunning, isn't it?
Which...
It's got like a slightly open grain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess guitar companies are having to look at other woods and things now as well, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, you wonder what companies like Fender and Gibson traditionally using older mahogany things, what are they going to do?
It's beautifully routed,
absolutely
astonishing,
isn't it?
It's beautifully done.
Yeah, the finish on it is breathtaking. We're going to have a little look at a finished floor on my Gold Top, which really annoys me. Which you shouldn't get it on a guitar of that quality, but you will not find anything like that on here.
The front, what's the front wood?
It's a very good... yes.
I can't believe you can't remember it.
I got no clue. You should know that.
So this is an interesting one, isn't it? It's
Spalted Burl.
Spalted Burl Maple.
Yeah. Now, I did actually look at what spalted was.
Yeah, well, we both had to, didn't we? So.
Which apparently is a form of decaying wood.
Yeah.
But obviously to a point where they control it and you get I guess not flaws in the finish is the wrong way of saying it.
Well, you've got some pretty big, you know, they've obviously had to fill areas with something to make that stable, but it does give an absolutely amazing, not a traditional.
No.
It's not like a flame, is it, or a bird's eye? It's full on. And actually, interesting.
There are some pretty spectacular metal guitarists around at the moment. And a lot of them tend to be using guitars like this and not going for what you traditionally might think of.
No.
So it's absolutely beautiful. We had a conversation recently, didn't we, about tone woods?
Yeah.
How much difference does it make? Well, I don't know.
I don't think it makes much at all. Now I've said that, that's my career finished in everything. But
in terms of the look, it's special.
And that's what it is. I think tone woods in an acoustic, absolutely, they make a massive difference.
Yeah.
In an electric, apart from sustain, I'm not so sure, because everything else is dominated by the pickups and the electrics and the pots and all of that kind of element.
Yeah, and the pickups on here are bare knuckle juggernaut pickups. So that's one thing I could remember.
Expensive?
These are around about 500 quid just for the pickups.
It's a pair?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah. So they are pretty tasty pickups.
Beautiful fingerboards, like that half and half look. That's really nice.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's unfinished as well. I love unfinished fingerboards. I have to say, for somebody who traditionally I love chunky fingerboards.
Well, that's completely different neck to what you would do.
It is, yeah, but oddly it doesn't feel thin to me. Although it's very flat.
It's quite wide though, isn't it?
Yeah, 16-inch radius. But it doesn't feel to me like the Ibanez necks and things like that you used to get. I feel quite comfortable on this. Sorry, Greg. He does it much more justice than me, trust me.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Those frets got to be stainless steel because they're shining.
Yeah, stainless steel frets.
Beautiful things. You said it was it a wenge neck? You said it was sandwiched with something?
Yeah, with purple heart, I think. Yeah.
Can you spin that around? And I don't know if you can pick that up at all.
See that on here?
Just
don't drop it, Steve.
There's the colours in there. I don't know if the camera will get that, but that is again.
It is. It's like this purple lines going down it. Yeah, you can tell everything on this. They're obviously pretty exclusive guitars. But you can tell that in the build quality. But at what point, what price does a guitar become exclusive? Is £2 not exclusive enough?
You'd like to think so.
You would hope so, wouldn't you? So let's have a little listen to. Try and get the sound right. Obviously, not for metal. I should say as well, due to the nature of Greg's playing and music choice, this is in D standard, so it's quite low. I'm not going to mess his intonation and setup up by tuning it up to standard, so we could very much appreciate him lending it to us. So that's a pretty tasty set of pickups, isn't it? I usually find with
that's with humbucker.
That's humbucker. It's pretty powerful, isn't it?
It's got some bite in it, though.
It has, yeah. Sorry, Greg, I'm playing country on your...
Unclean.
Maybe I should say, sorry, Mayones that I'm playing.
Yeah.
Real twang.
It has.
It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, I generally find they lack a bit of finesse.
Yeah.
Guitars, not of this level, but whenever I played kind of metalish kind of guitars. Oh, that's beautiful. That's this coil split.
Yeah. Mid position there. I'm just going to walk about. I'm just going to check the, you keep going. I'll be back.
Yeah, playing Stevie Ray Vaughan on a Mayones is interesting. That's stunning.
Yeah, sorry for the occasional clipping that you might hear a little bit of distortion on top end, but
absolutely beautiful.
Back it off a little bit.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
So I suppose, you know, people, older men and some women.
Like us, you mean?
Yeah, tend to gravitate towards a more vintage instrument, I think, especially in the blues world and what have you. But I'm not sure a lot of young people necessarily are anymore. No. I don't, you know, and I mean that across the style spectrum as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's not the fascination, I don't think think, but you know, I'd like people's opinion on that really, and whether a young person feels they have to have a Strat, you know, a pure vintage style pickup Strat, or you know, P90 or humbucker gold top type Les Paul, whether that's their wish anymore.
There's a lot of super Strats around these days,
There's a huge amount, and there's lots of everything in between as well.
Yeah, there is.
You know?
But it's generally, we've talked about this in pickups. It comes down to your pickups, doesn't it?
Yeah, mainly. It does. I mean, we've done that with the Strat with different pickups, and the difference is massive.
That to me is a really nice single coil sound.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah,
that is really not bad.
I'm sure if I turned up for a blues gig with this guitar, I would get some odd looks.
I'd like to see you do that, actually.
I'm sure you would. I'm not sure Craig would let me.
Yeah.
But if you ignored the fact it's obviously for a particular style of music, the sound, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Very bassy. I don't know if it's just my
it's got a bit of thump, isn't it?
Oops.
Just blame the string spacing.
Blame it on the radio
string
tuner.
space. Yeah, okay.
Of course, that's a good one. But it's a beautiful sound. I really like it in the middle position. That's stunning.
So I think for me, looking at it, is the build quality. Is you know, the finish. I mean, can I?
Interesting as well. Sorry, no tone control.
No.
I'm going to grab my Les Paul a second.
I mean, that is something you might say. You know, a tone control would be useful in blues. You know, just but
I guess you just use your volume control a lot. Really, you can get a lot out of it, and
lovely neck joint, isn't it? Yeah.
Right, let's.
I'm loving those machine heads as well. The open gear machine heads. Really nice.
So if we were to, without taking a dent out of it with my chunky Les Paul, this is my issue.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I bought this guitar second hand, so no complaints. But for a guitar that is all about the finish, a gold top, there's like a gap here where it hasn't been finished properly.
Well, it's the binding, isn't it? The binding
bizarre.
doesn't go with the carved top.
Yeah.
The carved top appears under the binding.
Yeah.
Now,
so it's like they haven't quite finished it to there. Now, it obviously makes no difference to how it's played. But even so.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, I mean,
yeah, so it's, what it is the binding is the same width all the way around the body, but of course you've got this carved top, and this raises up onto the carve here.
Yeah.
So you get that top showing through.
You do.
Above the mahogany.
And I love this guitar.
Yep.
But for not a lot of change out.
That bugs you, does it?
It does. Well, it would bug me if I bought it new.
Yeah,
you buy it second hand, that's, you know.
Yeah.
But for a guitar that you don't get a lot of change out of £2,000, that shouldn't happen.
So I've seen, you know, I mean, that might be across the board. That might be just the way they are.
Maybe.
So I haven't held enough of those recently to comment on that. But what you do notice is flaws in the actual finishes and by the neck joints and things like that. That really we shouldn't be having on a guitar of that value.
Shouldn't.
And Gibsons, they go up and down, don't they, in their quality. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a stunning looking guitar.
It's just when you're comparing it to somebody where there are no flaws.
Yeah.
I know it's another twice the price.
Yeah. But you can pay. And the rest.
You know? Interestingly, this model has got a coil split.
Yeah.
So let's see whether it compares to...
How do you want to do that?
Well, we're just going to have to have good memories of what it sounded like. I'll play that one again in a second.
Right.
A lot of coil splits are funny, aren't they? I think they divide opinion a bit.
They do, yeah.
I actually don't mind them.
Yeah, I knew what you mean.
Already, I think that's brighter, I think.
So you're on coil split there, are you?
Yeah, that's... Nope.
that would be white. Different. Like, it's a warmer tone.
Yeah.
I'd say this has got a bit more edge to it. As well, though, it's still full-bodied.
It is.
But that's a warmer tone. So that has a more vintage.
Yeah, which is obviously what I would go for. I'm just quite surprised how
good.
Good.
Yeah.
the sound of that is for not full-on metal.
Yeah, well, it makes it it makes it more of a session tool then, I suppose, as well, to have that flexibility in it.
Yeah, and I guess that's an interesting question for people if they wish to put some comments down, because obviously blues guitarists will bang on about how the feel of blues is important. Yeah. And for me, the best metal guitarists that I ever hear sound really bluesy. I've heard a few over the years who aren't bluesy, and
yeah, I suppose that's going to be a style of music, you know, world that you're opening a can of worms there, you know.
Well, you are. I don't mind that. It's okay. I mean, one of my favourite metal guitarists is Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge, and for me, he's a really bluesy guitarist. Yeah. I know Greg. There's a couple of bands that Greg is a big fan of. I can't remember the guitarist's name. I'll get him to put the comments up. Okay. And it's seriously hardcore metal, but the guitarist is so bluesy at breakneck speeds. It's incredible. Yeah.
Oh, you know where it's come from a lot of the time. You know where the roots are. And you know they've absorbed that as well. Yeah. They haven't just gone down that one style. They've absorbed the guitar and its roots and the music. And this is what I love about blues music, really, and what draws you back to it, is how it just branched off into so many musical forms. You know, you hear it in country music, you hear it in folk music, you hear it in metal, rock, pop, and it's all in there, you know. It's such a rich vein.
It is, and it can be as simple as just how you bend the strings. The feel of how you bend the strings is kind of a big part of it. So so I think, you know, let's try the single coils on that. I mean, that's instantly got a bit more snap, but you'd expect that from a Strat. Is that with the coil? Is that a split?
Yeah, a split in the middle. So it's a brighter.
Yeah.
It's a more metallic tone. You know?
Yeah. What position you on?
Middle.
Middle. It's very nice.
Go back to yours.
It's got a bit more, it's probably got a little bit more pop.
Again, you're not going to get that out of it, are you? But
no, but as close as I've ever come on that type of guitar.
But you know what? That's a classic vintage sound.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're after, the danger with a classic vintage sounding Strat is you end up in a particular territory if you're not careful, and you end up playing like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes a different guitar can actually edge you in a different direction and stop you doing certain things.
Definitely, and that, as we said, that will certainly get a lot closer to this than this will get to that. Let's put it that way. It would, as bad as my metal playing was at the beginning, it would be even worse on here. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty impressive, I got to say. And I guess the point of this really is it's the chance to get your hands on a guitar of that quality.
You know, it's a beaut.
Yeah, so we very much appreciate it, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
It's obviously not a direct comparison, because that would be a bit stupid, to be honest with you. But
then they make basses as well.
They do.
They make bass guitars too, yeah. So,
perhaps at some point we should have got Greg on here to play the intro for us. So
that would have been a good idea.
Some proper metal, you know. But no, so we appreciate it. Thank you to Dexter as well.
And I had a quick look at just the range. They do a lot, and they do headless ones and everything, like harking back to the 80s.
Yes, Vito Bratta from the 80s.
You know, straight in there with the tuning.
Was it Steinbergs? Did you say?
Steinberg, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Used to do all those. So I think
yeah. So okay, we've gushed over this guitar. One gripe.
Go on, spoil it, Steve.
This is a real gripe for me.
Spoil it, Steve.
And that is that it doesn't come with a hard case.
Yeah.
Now, it comes with...
It's not alone in that, though, is it?
No, it's not. There's
in this price range.
High-end guitars, a lot of Sirs, a POS, upper-end POS, Silver Sky. They come with kind of almost like the hard soft case, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Yeah, because it was similar, wasn't it? Yeah. Semi-hard.
And their argument is that, you know, you're gigging musician, it's easier than taking hard cases. But if I'm spending $4 grand on a guitar, I want a hard case, please.
Hard case.
Yeah, but it's a pretty small gripe.
I suppose if the money goes into the guitar, then I'm not quite so bothered.
No.
Because it is, you know, I like things. I love looking at how things are made. My father was a design engineer, and he sort of inculcated that into me a little bit, you know, of build quality of things. And this looks special. It's made with a lot of attention.
It is.
You know?
I think I read, if you're ordering one of those, then you're waiting for around 2 years to get it. So that tells you something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, so spectacular guitar.
There we go.
So more guitar companies, please. That kind of quality would be nice.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, Greg.
Maybe a more blues-based machine next time, but with a bit of difference would be nice, wouldn't it? I'd like to see something like that. I'd like to see a little bit of more, something else come into the blues scene, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rather than just tradition.
You're right.
And
obviously, Gibson and Fender largely
dominate that.
Obviously, PRS, I guess. Fair few blues guitarists using PRS.
Yeah.
Hello, Claire.
He's coming for it.
Yeah, we're coming for that PRS.
Yeah.
But in all,
perhaps
not a blues guitar, but it does a pretty good job of sounding like a single chorus.
Well, it's an interesting visit to the blues box, that one. It's brilliant.
Yeah, stunning. Thank you.
There we go. Well, thanks for joining us at the Blues Box. Slightly unusual episode with that one, I think, but well worth looking at that. And just lovely to just.
It'd be nice if they made a guitar. If they turned their attention to making a guitar that was.
You never know with you, Steve. Yeah. You never know.
Well, there you go. Not sure they're going to do it just because of this video, but there you go.
Definitely not with our subscriber numbers. And on that note, thank you to everybody who's subscribed recently. That's really, really appreciated. You don't know how much that means. Helps us get this channel going, get it off the floor. YouTube's not an easy place to start a new channel now. It's quite tough. If you just give us a sub, that would be awesome. It really would. It would mean an awful lot. A like and a comment, get involved, and let us know what you'd like to see on the show. So we really appreciate you joining us at the Blues Box, and take care.